Welcome to all of you. Today we are going to discuss bibliographic coupling, which is a very important area in case of the citation analysis. Uh, in bibliographic coupling, the relationship of different research work and the articles that are having the bibliographic coupling, they are supposed to be resembling with each other so far as their areas or the researches or the ideas are concerned. That is, in that context, it is an implication and application of citation analysis, where we normally discuss the relationship that is going to be exist between two or more documents based on their shared or common citations among themselves. So let us today discuss this important area of citation analysis. After this video presentation, I suppose you'll be able to understand the concept and different perspectives of bibliographic coupling. Then the process of bibliographic coupling, and of course, one of the important area which is related to the bibliographical coupling is the co-citation. So you will be in a position to differentiate between the two concepts. As the term bibliographic coupling is concerned, it is first and the foremost a similarity measure that uses the citation data, the articles that are citing the earlier literature, and on the basis of that measure, we try to find the relationship that is existing among different research works. So it definitely occurs when there are similar references, common references that are normally that of the third party, third research. Then it is an indication that a probability may exist between two research works when they are treated as a similar subject or similar areas that are being discussed in these articles which are bibliographically coupled. Dear students, when two documents separately they are citing a single common document, there the bibliographical coupling exists between these two documents if the number of these citations that are being shared among these two documents which are under consideration, then definitely we talk of the more bibliographical coupling strength. The volume and quantification of bibliographical coupling is much more higher as the number of similar or common these citations occur among two documents. So that is, in that context we talk of the coupling strength of these two documents, where we discuss that these documents which are sharing the common references, the more common reference among these documents, the more strength will be that of the bibliographical coupling. Like the figure, you can see from the image that is represented there that the document A and the document B, they are the citing documents. That is very important for you people to remember that these are the citing documents, not the cited documents. They are citing the document C, B, and E. So, say for example, if document C is a common document that has been cited by the document A and document B, so definitely we can talk of the bibliographical coupling that is existing between document A and document B. So if we talk of the document C, then document D and document E, it can go on increasing with the number of common references among document A and document B. So that one thing which is very important for you people to understand, that the bibliographical coupling is basically existing between two documents. Those are citing documents, not the cited documents. Then this process of bibliographical relationship among the researchers. It also exists among the authors. When similar kind of research by some specialized authors are giving or sharing some common bases or numbers of references. So it can be presumed that the authors may be having the similar area of research. It can also be presumed that the authors may be of the similar area. They may be working on a similar project. That is, in that context, there can be some existing relationship between these two authors, the relationship in terms of the subjects, where these authors can be bibliographically similar and their works can be similar in terms of the quantum or the cumulative reference lists among the authors that they are citing together. So individually, the article wise, you can also try to find the areas of similar areas among the authors, but it is much more important. We will be taking into account the cumulative volume or quantification of these references. That is very important because the more the cumulative reference lists exist between the authors, the more strength among the authors or the similar areas may be between the authors. Then, dear students, the uses of this bibliographical coupling is wide and they are diverse in nature. And, different kinds of these information retrieval databases and the current bibliographical databases, they are trying to use this bibliographical coupling as a feature in the databases. So these are the important uses which I have mentioned there. They are basically the relationship that is very first inference that we are getting from the bibliographical coupling, that is the relationship among wide variety of these subject fields. Then the very important phenomena to be determined by the process of bibliographical coupling is interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary nature of the subjects. Currently different researches are undertaken in different diverse fields, and the boundary between one subject and the other subject is completely masked. It is not existing in the current times. Like when we talk of any interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary research, research process or the research area can be undertaken by a particular group of authors who may be from multiple areas of knowledge. They can be from social science, arts, humanities, science and technology, medical sciences, agricultural sciences, multiple authors, and from multiple fields or areas of specialization. They can undertake the research. So, if a subject has to be determined that if the subject is interdisciplinary in nature or the multidisciplinary in nature, the bibliographical coupling and the references that the articles are sharing, it determines the subject interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary, because it will give a real picture that the subject is scattered, subject is being cited by different disciplines. So it also helps the researchers to find the review or the related articles. In case of the research, the important area is to know about the earlier research or quantum of literature that is being available in the area which is undertaken by the researchers. It can be a research project, it can be a thesis or dissertation, it can be any kind of research avenue or process. So bibliographical coupling helps the researchers at that time to get the related literature which is existing in their specialized or interested areas. That is in that context that maximum databases are nowadays trying. Even you can see it in case of different search engines as well. They are providing the related results, related references. Like we talk of the bibliographies in case of the books. Then again, very important use or application of bibliographical is the usage of the literature. where the literature and its utility is being measured with the help of bibliographical coupling. Where the document or the research is being used, whom different areas are there, who are the authors in different areas, different subject fields who are using, the contents are the researches. So it can be determined, or it can be studied the usage of literature, and we can have the mapping of the research areas or the research works and its scattering or usage by different or diverse fields of knowledge. As I was telling you that the related kind of term which is commonly being used with the bibliographical coupling is the citation, co-citation. Before going to discuss the co-citation, I just try to make sure that you people should remember the term that I have used earlier. That is, in case of bibliographical coupling, I have used that document A and document B are the citing documents. They are citing a third document which is common among these two documents, A and B. Its reverse is occurring in case of the co-citation. One document is citing two similar documents. One document is citing two similar documents. For example, here C document may be citing document A and document B. So it is like we generally would talk of the mirror image of the bibliographical coupling, but you have to remember that bibliographical coupling is always a retrospective kind of measure, where we talk of the literature that has been cited by two different areas or articles, while as in case of the co-citation, we talk of prospective kind of citations which are existing in the documents and which can also exist in future. That is why bibliographical coupling used to be having the biggest criticism that is being debated and discussed, that these process or nature of relationship among the subjects is having the limitation that it is much more concerned with the past research. Whatever has been cited among different documents, it gives the picture. While as in case of the co-citation, it not only gives the present picture or present relationship among the existing stock of knowledge, but also it helps to find the relationship of subjects in future as well. Because here the documents for which we have to analyze, measure, or determine the relationship, that are the cited documents, not the citing documents. So let us see some further important aspects and the differences so that we can understand the term better. It is like bibliographic coupling, where we talk of the semantic relationship between different documents. It is used or defined as the frequency with which two documents are cited together. These documents are cited together. That is very important term that you have to remember. And if we talk that at least one document should cite two documents, at that time we can talk of that these two documents are co-cited. Minimum possibility is the one document, and then the number of citations among the documents, the more strength or the more volume of quantification of this co-citation is existing among the documents. That is, in the context, the more co-citation two documents receive, the higher their co-citation strength. And the more important thing is that they will be definitely much more semantically related. This is the you can see here that the first images where document A and document B, they are being cited by C, D and E. So if you remember the earlier image where it is being the image is totally different. It is totally reverse. Like the document A, document B were citing document C, document D, and document E. While as in case of co-citation, document C is citing document A and B, document D is citing document A and document B, document E is citing document A and B. That is on the right hand side, it is also being represented there, while citing document, and then these document 1, 2, 3, they are being cited. This co-citation score is very important so far as the citation or bibliographical database are concerned. Like we are witnessing in case of Scopus and Web of Science, that these co-citation scores are very important, because these are the the relationship or related linkages are tracking between multiple subjects. And definitely when the documents are featuring higher number of co-citations, they are definitely at the time much more similar. Uh, Here lucid picture whereby you can have both these terms in your mind, that on one hand we talk of bibliographical coupling and on the other hand we talk of co-citation. In case of bibliographical coupling, you see the documents are being cited A, C, D, E, and F, while as it is reverse is there where C, D, E, F are citing A and B. That is very important, and that is when you need to discuss bibliographical coupling and co-citation, you have to remember at that time that these are contrary. These are, one is talking of the earlier citation, while as the second one is talking of the present as well as the future citations. You can with the slides, so that you can get much more clarity between the bibliographical coupling and co-citation. I would definitely thank and acknowledge all the sources which I have used to prepare my presentation. Thank you, students, for watching, and be connected so that you can get to know the new video lectures on different facets of library and information science.